What's shaking, guys, man? Welcome back to Rhyme Rate. I appreciate y'all tuning in because today is Quik Stop Day. So we are finally getting to the song Quik Stop. Shout out to everybody that's been making those requests on Instagram. I've seen Quik Stop in the comments as well underneath the video. This is probably this one and Who the Fuck Is You are the two out of the songs left on the Fall Off album. These are the two joints that you guys really wanted me to do a reaction on. So, we slow cooking the J. Cole album. I apologize for the delay too. I want to get in the habit of getting videos up pretty much every day. I'm not going to guarantee every day, but I want to be a lot more consistent. So I know I took a little bit of a break there. Me and Ryan just filmed a video, so shout out to my boy Ryan. We just shot a video on my other channel, Lost in Vegas, that I think that y'all gonna like that one. That's we making some announcements for the future and all that, and I think you guys will appreciate kind of what we have planned. So be on the lookout for that video. I'm not sure exactly when that's gonna come out, but I got a feeling that y'all might like that. So let's get into it, man. Quik Stop. I've heard it. We're gonna sit with it a little bit. We're gonna, take it in together. And let's get into it, man. J. Cole, Quik Stop.
We need to change our ways, doing the same thing we did yesterday. Making beats, getting high, chasing freaks, feeling fine. It's still the same.
Yeah, what is that for y'all though? We need to change our ways. We need to stop doing the same shit we did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? In the case of J. Cole, making beats and chasing freaks and all that other stuff, right? It sounds like he's become sort of disenchanted with sort of complacency. But what is that like to the common man? Wake up, go to work, hit the gym, do your little 9 to 5, hit the gym, come back home, eat, sleep. Like, what is that? For most of y'all, because I feel like that's where J. Cole's music has a way. I've always said that J. Cole's sort of like our compass, man, in hip hop, man. His music has a way of bringing everyone back down to reality and sort of maybe refreshing us on things that we know, that we probably know, but we're not practicing. You know what I'm saying? And we all get caught up in that cycle, right? That, okay, we wake up, do the same thing, boom, 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 boom. And he said, he hasn't gotten to it yet, but he said, feeling fine. Like, you're feeling okay, and that's the worst, right? When you're feeling okay, you don't feel like there's necessarily, maybe subconsciously necessarily a need to change because everything is fine. You're not struggling. When you struggle, it's live or die, right? It like they say, what human evolution, the evolution of humanity has come from our backs being against the wall in harsh conditions, right? When things are hard, your brain works in overdrive for survival. But once things are like fine, you're like, yeah, you get caught up in this, this, what I almost call it like a slow, it's like the what do they say? Complacency is, the devil to progression or something along those lines, right? You just never progress because you're fine. There is no added sort of, whatever fire that could get you to push you through to get to the next level or to achieve anything. Even if it's learning another damn language, even if it's traveling, even if it's, learning how to play an instrument, whatever it is that fulfills you, you get kind of like, I'm good.
Shit, but I think we ain't gon' quit. Making a rhyme, climbing a hill, staying alive, trying to live. Once in a while, I get in my head too much. Just trying to live. And that's when I call, hoping you'll pick up. That's all it is.
So, obviously he's the, what is he, mimicking a phone call, like he's calling God, right? That's the last thing he said specifically, right? And I like how he said, I get in my head sometimes and just trying to live. And, once in a while I get in my head too much, just trying to live. And that's when I call, hoping you'll appear. God, that's all it is, right? And then he goes, hoping that God, when I call God, when I'm looking for some sort of direction or purpose, God can sort of give me a sign or what have you. So I thought that was a nice touch. And I like the violins in the beat too. I appreciate that production wise. There's violins, I think later on in the song, I think I might have heard a saxophone if I'm not mistaken. So vocally, again, melodically, I think I love what J. Cole was doing on this album. I know J. Cole is I think with songs like Apparently, I believe, off of Forest Hills Drives, and J. Cole's always experiment with melody, but I do feel like there was a little bit more sasson. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more care, a little bit more um, um, intention to sort of elevate it a little bit more so in this album, man. But I appreciate all this. This is a song, if I'm keeping it real, off of first listen that I was like, I appreciate it. I think it's beautiful. Is it a song that I thought that I would be going back to upon first listen? Not really. I was just like, oh yeah, I appreciate it. It's not like I looked at this song as a skip. Because you know when I think of a skip, I don't like the quality of the song, right? That to me that's a skip to me, right? The whole idea of a skip and all that shit is dated and all, I get that, but just to kind of give you guys a peek into my mind, when I first heard it, I was just like, okay, cool. I heard it. Don't think I need to listen to it again. It's a beautifully written song. I appreciate the perspective, but I don't know if I need to listen to it again. But then I listened to it a little bit more, and I was like, okay, it's I think emotionally what J. Cole did emotionally on this, I think I've grown. It's kind of starting to turn into a like as opposed to sort of an appreciation, right? Sometimes I don't even appreciate some shit. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. It's not for me. I'm never gonna revisit it again. And then sometimes I love it and I like it and I can see myself playing in it again. And then there's the sort of gray area where I'm like, I appreciate what an artist did, the love and care and the hard work that they put into it, but it's probably not for me in terms of consistent listening. And that's kind of where this was initially. But as I've heard it a few more times, I'm like, okay. Let's keep it going though.
The voice message. Bruh, how the fuck you got so rich and yet you wear the same fits and pair of sneaks like every week? Cause I don't care to change shit. I'm like a creature of habit. Plus, what's the point burning bread when like a creek in your attic? I still be turning your head just to confirm if that dread-headed tall fella is cold. I try to walk with the hoodie, whether the weather is cold, whether the weather is warm. It's just to cover the form. When doing regular things, try to repel getting swarmed. But yesterday I was driving, trap music album did blast. Took me back to a time when I was down in my last, was rapping TIP rhymes, then I looked down at the dash. Oh shit, I'm tripping, reminiscing, damn near ran out of gas. I pulled into this little station that I had seen on the Ave, in a peculiar hood and unfamiliar paths. I got no hoodie, it's bad. Hopped out and went to the pump. I pushed the 93 button, felt like a sitting little duck. While
Yeah, right here is where I thought that Cole, I think when I first heard this song, I thought the story was going to take a different turn. I thought that this was going to be a I'm about to see God moment. Like I'm a sitting duck out here. I'm a famous rapper. I got to stop and get gas. You know how it is in the hood. You know, you got to keep your head on a swivel. So I was thinking that he was going to have a near death experience. Like he was like, oh shit, I forgot my hoodie. Damn, I'm like a sitting duck out here, right? I got to pump gas. And as the story unfolds, you know, we all know what happens. The guy ends up being a fan that's coming up to him. But I thought it was going to be like, this is some real shit. Like he got ran down on. Motherfuckers was trying to rob him or whatever the case may be. That led to him saying, damn, you know what? Life is short, so I need to move accordingly. And that gave me a sort of a new lease on life, right? Is how I thought the story was going to go when I first heard it. So it's just the way he was setting it up. He's like, oh shit, I'm a sitting duck. He was saying he's a sitting duck in that he didn't want to be swarmed. You know, he's just casually running errands. You know, he don't always want to be swarmed by fans. So, you know, he usually puts the hoodie on to kind of, you know, I don't give a fuck about trying to look cute for motherfuckers. I'm getting money, and like a creak in your attic, I'm still going to turn your head. You still going to point, you know, you still going to see what it is. You know who I am. You know what I've done. I don't need to prove anything to anyone in that respect. But also in the, you know, you want to be low key with it sometimes, man, when you're running errands or doing what you need to do. But I thought initially it was like, I was like, oh shit, J. Cole got ran down on? Anyways, let's keep it going.
Reminiscing, damn near ran out of gas. I pulled into this little station that I had seen on the Ave, in a peculiar hood and unfamiliar paths. I got no hoodie, it's bad. Hopped out and went to the pump. I pushed the 93 button, felt like a sitting little duck. While looking over my shoulder, I heard this dude on the corner sound like he talking to me. Hey bro, you smoke marijuana? I got that pack if you need. And I could smell the aroma. I told him, nah, I'm
gonna keep it real, man. When I first heard the flow on this, I was like, oh, hell no. I got that pack if you need it. I just thought it was, I know, like, I know I said it was fine and I enjoyed it, but I was a little iffy on the flow, right? I got that back if you need it. You know what I'm saying? It's got like that old 80s flow to me. It's like an old school rapper that if they were to try to rap on some joints today, like and they never like evolved their flow, I feel like that's how it would sound. It would have sounded. It would sound like this. It was like, I got that pack if you need it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had to, after the first listen, the flow didn't bother me as much, but the flow, I'm just keeping it being, I didn't love it initially as well. So, but I'm trying to give y'all, obviously I've sat with the song, things have changed, but I also want to give y'all some tidbits on what transpired on that first reaction. Let's keep it going though.
Looking over my shoulder, I heard this dude on the corner sound like he talking to me. Hey bro, you smoke marijuana? I got that pack if you need. And I could smell the aroma. I told him, nah, I'm alright. I never once was a stoner. The tank was taking so long to fill up, I thought it was broke. Could feel the curiosity coming from buddy that spoke. Right then he started to approach. Hey bro, you look real familiar. I said, I get that a lot. As he got closer, it got clearer. Oh shit, that's cold, nigga. Wait, what you doing over this way? Bro, I was just 13 years old when I got hold of your tape. I tried to put niggas on, but they was slow to go play. Bro, you the GOAT, they didn't know then, but bet they know it today.
Yeah, they know what's up now. You know what I mean? They know what's up now. Yeah, I like that, On a very microscopic level, you know what I'm saying? No, we're not J. Cole. Ryan and George from Lost in Vegas is nowhere near J. Cole's level of status. But on a minuscule sort of Z-list level, when people approach us, they be like, yo, don't I know you from somewhere? I'm like, nah. No, I mean, you from upstate New York? I play dumb like a motherfucker. Like, you have to guess in order for me. So if y'all ever see me out, anybody that lives in Vegas, you ever see me outside or whatever, just know I'm not gonna come up to. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm George. I have a YouTube channel. No. You have to guess.
Need a flip right quick, cause dog, I don't even know what to say. To make a dollar bill right now, I'm out here throwing bouquets, slinging flowers, but I play your arms and know it's a way. I played your shit when bro got hit, it helped me cope with the pain. I played your shit when mama tripped and I had nowhere to stay. I swear I feel like you was with me in my loneliest phase. The love he showed me was so strong, it damn near blow me away. See, even I be need reminders on my loneliest day that I should live in my purpose if I deliver my verses and get the fuck out my way. I figure out what to say. Some days I forget to eat, some days I forget to pray. I get a whole lot of love, some days I focus on hate. I took a selfie with dog and gave the longest embrace, then look him right in his face to let him know that this thanks was from a genuine place. Cause this continuous race to be the best will leave you stepping at a strenuous pace till you forget who you is and you forget who you ain't. Before you know it, you're trapped inside that picture you paint. This life is more than just rap, more than the bitches you scrape, more than the riches you stack. See, it's the difference you make. Yeah, it's the difference you make. Yeah, it's the difference you make. Yeah, it's the difference.
This is what makes Cole, man.
We need to change our ways, doing the same thing we did yesterday. Making beats, getting high, chasing freaks, feeling fine. It's still the same old shit, but I think we ain't gonna quit. Making a rhyme, climbing a hill, staying alive, trying to live. Just trying to live. That's all it is.
You gotta appreciate Cole, man, and the emotion that he put into this joint. Yeah, I mean, just the emotion, man. The sort of build up to that, right? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I forget to eat. Sometimes I forget to pray, right? The continuous sort of obsession with being the best. You can get lost in that, man. Trying to fulfill, satisfy, cultural pundits, and you lose track of your purpose. You lose track of maybe why you started. You lose yourself in it, man. You get trapped into this frame, right? What did he say? You get trapped in that the picture you paint. You paint yourself as this GOAT rapper, all-time great rapper. Like, I put bars together and this and that and all that comes with being a rapper, and you lose sight of who you are maybe to a degree and what your purpose is and why you started this, right? I love that line. I thought that line was dope. But when I was listening to this, I think that this song, I'm not really looking at this song as a song that needs much of a breakdown. I think J. Cole deliberately wants you to feel the music. And I think sometimes when you are when you can almost, I think I've seen artists get lost in concepts. They're so focused on density and trying to layer the concept, which I'm not diminishing, and I appreciate that, and there's a lane for that, and that's great. But I think at times, the point can be lost, or the purpose can be lost, or the feeling can be lost, right? So I've always thought J. Cole wanted to cut through all of that. Let's get straight to the heart. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I want you to feel this. And I've always felt that about J. Cole and just how he approaches music. It's about feeling. I know I don't want there to be any confusion as to what I'm talking about. But as I was listening to this song, man, I was, and just not even just this time, but just the other times that I listen to the song, it brings me back to what keeps me centered. I think the first thing he said was, we need to change our ways, doing the same thing we did yesterday, right? Making beats, getting caught up in just being complacent, right? Being okay. I'm doing good enough, right? And, before you know it, 20 years go by, 30 years go by, right? And next thing you know, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully if you live that long, right? As this life is just like that, goes fast, man. And what's always kept me centered when I think about life is and this is me. I'm obsessed with space, right? And I've always thought about the Great Filter. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Great Filter, but it's basically all the things that we had to, just for our planet to be here, right? I think it's sort of underneath the umbrella of the Fermi paradox. Like, just for our planet to exist, we had to be in a Goldilocks zone, which means we couldn't be too close to the sun because we would burn up. We couldn't be too far from the sun because we'd be a big ice cube, right? Be a big ice ball, frozen tundra. So our planet had to exist in this Goldilocks zone, right? And then we had to be in the sort of vacuum, or we had to use Jupiter it becomes sort of a vacuum for us. Essentially asteroids get caught up in the gravity of Jupiter. If Jupiter's not there, those asteroids are hitting us, and we may not have ever gotten to a point where our planet could have developed intelligent life. So now, just for our planet to exist, where we live, our home, the Earth, to exist, all of these things had to come into play. Let's not even talk about the moon and how the moon plays into how our planet survives and the tides and all that good stuff as well. So there's that. And then once Earth is sort of, in place, then we go from single cell organisms to multicellular organisms, right? Just the leap that had to happen for that to get there. And then the leap from that to intelligence and learning how to, making fire and learning how to use tools and all of these leaps. And a lot of this stuff happened off of just sheer luck, depending on what you believe. I'm not saying I'm not saying that religion doesn't play a part or whatever the case may be, but if we're just focusing on science, all of these things happen. Just a lot of these things are just luck, right? If there's a religion thing, if there's a religion piece, a play that you want to go to, we can go that route as well. Then you are very fortunate to be even breathing, right? We could talk about being born, just being born. What had to happen? First of all, being born is a miracle. Being born with all of your faculties is another miracle, right? Not having some sort of terminal illness, not being a paraplegic, right? All of these things are factored into you just having that lot. Like, we are all walking lottery tickets. That's just the way I think, right? That centers me. We're all like walking lottery tickets, man, that a lot of amazing, impossible odds had to happen. Like, even fucking the possibility of pregnancy, right? Like, your sperm meets the egg, your mom meets your dad here, and all these things just for you to be able to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Just for you to be able to watch this video with me and me to kind of make this video for you guys. So when I think of when I feel like I'm getting a little complacent, I really do. I kind of refer back to that Great Filter. Like, dude, I am a walking lottery ticket, man. Every single breath I take, every move I make needs to be with intention and purpose, right? It's not every day, but I try to center myself and ground myself. But that's what this all made me think of is that, you know what I mean? Like, tomorrow's not promised. Shit, the next minute isn't promised. The next hour, right? Nothing is promised. All we have is the present, right? The past is gone. The present, the future's not here. That's not promised. All we have is now. So, do something with your life, man. Because you can get caught up in, I wake up, go to work, 9 to 5, go to the gym, go to sleep, right? So, figure out what you can do, man, to add as much purpose. And if that makes you happy, great, because we are all in the pursuit of happiness, and some people are happy with that. And if you're happy, great. But I think what J. Cole was getting around to is that I think he felt like he lost his fire. He lost he lost track of what his purpose was and why he became a rapper in the first place. You know, I love that he used basically like just a basic sort of scenario. You know, I'm driving in my car, I'm listening to TIP. You know, I had to stop at a gas station, and then this fan or this guy that, you know, seemed to be like on hard times, or was talking about him being on hard times, stopped me, man. It was just like, yo, you inspire me. You know, I was homeless or am homeless, right? What did he say specifically? You know, basically he's been homeless, he's been struggling, his mom kicked him out, yada, 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 on hard times, and Cole's music helped him get through some of those hard times, you know? So I think Cole was like, damn, you know, you helped me more than I helped you, I think is what Cole was saying. Like, dude, you've done just as much to help me, you know, reignite my passion and my love and my understanding of why I'm here and what my purpose is just as much as my music may have helped you through tough times. You know what I'm saying? So I think Cole was just like, yo, I appreciate you. Like, it was a genuine love and appreciation to sort of like almost like reset him, you know, because he said this continuous race, right? This continuous race to be the best will leave you stepping at a strenuous pace. Yeah, it could drive you crazy, man. And dealing with fans and haters and all this other stuff and obsessing over every comment. Because what did he say? You know, sometimes I get a whole lot of love, but then I focus on hate. You know, like there was a rapper that reached out. There's been some rappers that reached out to us in the past, not just one. There's been actually quite a few that reached out to us in the past. We will make 15 videos, man, giving these rappers love. Okay, maybe not 15 videos, but we'll make videos, multiple videos saying how much we appreciate these rappers' contributions and give them credit for the bars and say they're great and yada, yada, yada. And the one time that we critique them is when they reach out to us. So you just ignored all the other shit. You didn't give a fuck about that. You didn't decide to reach out to us and show love and do that. You just focused on the hate. That really bothers me when they do that. I keep it cool, but I really just get annoyed by that. But I keep it cool because I get it. You know, we get a whole lot of love here, man. I've gotten a lot of love with starting this channel. Lost in Vegas has always gotten a lot of love, but then you get them one or two comments, man, and people are saying something crazy. You like, yo, what is your what is your IP address? I'm looking up like how I can track these motherfuckers down. I need a geothermal location and shit. Like, I'm looking up all types of gadgets and shit. And fucking like, you know, motherfuckers that can hack into something to find who these motherfuckers are. Like, some people say some crazy shit online. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna find you. And then, you know, but that's like, if you really looked at the general percentage, you know, that's a very small percentage of people, man. For the most part, we get a lot of love, you know. So I love that he said that. I love that he kind of like brought himself back. Like, I've always said Cole is like rap's compass, man. I think he says things that I feel like we sort of maybe inherently know, but I think he provides that sort of refresher or that reset. Like, dog, like, what? Let's get back to what matters in life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that fan is you know, that fan was that for him. That fan was like a reset. Like, yo, what am I doing? Who gives a fuck about a battle? Who gives a fuck about any of this nonsense online and these haters and all this other stuff, man? Yo, my music really does make a difference. I make a difference in this world. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that this was, yeah, man, this is a song. I feel like this is a song that has made an impression on me, right? But it may not be a song I go back to that often. It's just, I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just the beat is a little, I think the production is, I think it's well produced. I think Cole and the messaging is strong. I think this is a well executed song, but it's not, I don't know if it's grabbing me in terms of just musically, if it's something that I feel like I can see myself listening to constantly. It's not really one of my favorites on the album, but it is a song that I appreciate. And I do think certain elements of this song, the emotion in it, I think it's probably going to stick with me longer than songs that I would probably listen to more. Like, I'm going to listen to Safety more than this easily, right? Because Safety is the beat, right? I love that old school feel with the beat, and Cole, just in terms of how he was chopping on that thing. You know what I'm saying? Just the rhyme schemes, man, and obviously the messaging, of course, in Safety as well. So that's a song I'm going to be listening to more than this. But there may be things about this that stick with me more than Safety. You know what I'm saying? So this is more of an appreciation that's teetering on eventually maybe becoming a song that I can like to play a little bit more. But right now, I respect it. I respect it. So yeah, man, keep giving me more off of the Fall Off, man. We got a couple more left. Well, we got probably more than a couple to keep it real. So I'm probably not gonna get to literally every single song left, but I do have to get to Who the Fuck Is You. I gotta get that done. I mean, the Villas is another one with the Mobb Deep joint. I heard that, maybe like 2-3 more off this album. Like I said, we slow cooking it. It's no rush on it, So ain't nobody else dropping nothing from. I'm not getting any requests from any other angles. So it looks like it's easy to just keep sticking with the Cole album. But give me requests, man. Make sure y'all join my Instagram. Hit me up on TikTok as well. I'm gonna start. Obviously, it's gonna be blank right now, and I will start putting like clips and stuff up there, trying to get that together, man. But follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I when new content comes out from Rhyme Rate. And that's it, man. Appreciate y'all requesting that. I'm George. This is Rhyme Rate. We out.